Terry. I'm Brooke. I'm going to be your nurse today. How are you doing today?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. What brings you in here today?
Just having a regular checkup.
Okay. There's a screen that we do annually. Is it okay if I ask you a couple questions?
Sure.
Okay. In the past year, have you had 4 or more drinks in a day?
No.
In a typical week, do you have more than 7 drinks?
Nope.
In the past year, have you used pot, other street drugs, or prescription drugs for non-medical reasons?
No, I haven't.
Have you ever drank more than you meant to?
No.
In the past year, have you thought about cutting down on your drinking, smoking, or drug use?
I don't really drink or do drugs, but I have been smoking for a while, and I think I might want to cut back on that a little bit.
Okay. In the past year, have you ever been intoxicated on alcohol, drugs, when you could have hurt yourself or others?
No.
Okay. All right. And then you said you were talking about stopping smoking.
Mm-hmm.
Is it okay if we talk about it?
Sure.
Okay. So tell me about your smoking.
Well, I started smoking when I was pretty young. I think I was like 14 when I first started smoking. Now I smoke about 2 packs a day, and I think I might want to cut back a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like you want to cut back, and that you know that it's probably not the best to smoke 2 packs a day, because that is above the safe limits, and I'm concerned about how that can affect your health. So you would like to consider cutting back on your use. So how much do you want to cut back by?
Ideally, I'd like to probably not smoke at all.
Okay, that's great. So not smoke at all, like completely stop your sensation? Okay. So what would be some of the pros of like cutting down smoking?
Well, I just got diagnosed with asthma, and I think a big pro would be to quit smoking. I think could really relieve my respiratory and all that trouble I've been having lately. So that's a big reason. And also my daughter, I don't want to be smoking around her because I know how bad secondhand smoke can be.
Okay, and so what would be a con of stop smoking?
Well, I'm assuming it's going to be pretty hard just because I've been smoking for such a long time. I've heard it's pretty hard to quit, so I'm kind of nervous about that.
Yeah. Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how ready are you to cut down?
I'm probably at about a 9 or a 10, ready to stop.
Okay. That's awesome. So what would make you at a 10 instead of a 9?
I think I'm just worried about how hard it's going to be. I've kind of had a rough year, so I'm just kind of anxious about what that's going to be like.
Okay. And then so it sounds like you are needing to cut down just because of the asthma and the secondhand smoke with your daughter.
Yeah.
How old's your daughter?
She's going to be 5 next week.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. So what types of steps would you take to cut down a little bit?
Well, I probably need to throw out, the cigarettes that I have around my house, and maybe kind of start to realize what makes me want to have a cigarette, and maybe try to find some different activities to fill that void.
Okay. And so, what are some triggers that you that make you want to smoke?
Usually just when I'm feeling kind of stressed, or if I'm just kind of having a hard day, I find myself really wanting that nicotine.
Okay. So what attracts you to smoking?
I think I just have done it for so long, it just became like a habit.
Okay. So will we be able to set up a follow-up visit?
I think we could do that.
Okay. Well, I think the best way would maybe be to start on some medications, maybe even a nicotine patch, just so you still have the nicotine in because most of the patches are just in your arm. So if you have, just constantly there, you're still getting the nicotine, but you're not physically smoking. Because some people are attracted to more of, how it feels to actually smoke.
Right.
So maybe we can see if that works for you.
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
Good. And then there's also different prescription drugs that you can take too.
Okay.
So Yeah. So how do you feel about, how's your family feel about you smoking?
I think my daughter really would like me to stop smoking. She's kind of has made some comments about how kind of our house smells like smoke and stuff like that. So I don't want her to feel embarrassed when she has friends over or anything like that.
Of course. So is there anything that would prevent you from stopping smoking?
I mean, I kind of struggle with depression, and maybe if that started to trigger some feelings of depression when I stop smoking, I might have to weigh those benefits and risks out.
Okay. Yeah, so you've had history of depression?
Yeah, I kind of had a rough last year or so, but I've started going to therapies and really found some strategies that have helped me work through that.
That's awesome. Yeah. So do you feel very confident in yourself that you could be able to stop smoking even with some of those coping?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm feeling pretty good about where I'm at mentally, and I think I'm ready.
That's great. Okay. Well, do you have any questions for me at all?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, it looks like you're on a great path on your way to quit smoking, and then we definitely, try to at least, start out. I don't know if you want to start out with decreasing or just completely stopping. So, what would you think?
I think I would probably just need to stop, because I think if I didn't, I might not ever get around to it.
Okay. And then when would you plan on stopping? Like shortly after this? Tomorrow, a week? What are you thinking?
Well, maybe, my daughter's birthday is next week, so maybe this weekend I could stop. So hopefully by then, maybe she can start to realize that I've stopped smoking, and that might make her pretty happy.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what are some things that you would be able, that you would do, say that you were to feel the urge to smoke?
Well, I've kind of gotten into some running a little bit and some physical activity. So maybe instead of smoking, I can try and go on a walk or a jog or something, just to kind of distract my mind.
That's awesome. So looks like you're switching to a more healthy, so have you always had this exercise, or you kind of just
I just kind of started it, and I think it'll help me along with my asthma, maybe just a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah. Do you make sure to bring your treatments with you when you when you go, just in case there was an asthma attack or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. And so what would you do, say, if you were to smoke? What would you do to prevent that from happening again?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I could find a friend that I could call, and maybe someone just keep me accountable, and someone who I could talk to it about, or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, and then we're always here too, and I can also give you a couple more references over here, just to a substance abuse group that you could talk to, because they're going through the same thing, and I'm sure that, any addiction is hard to overcome. So it's great that you're taking the steps towards that. So, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any other questions?
I think I'm good.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll see ya. When do you want to do a follow visit? So
maybe a couple weeks, a month or so.
Okay. All right. Well, we can do October 25th. Is
okay.
that okay?
That sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.